Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Radical Disruption. I'm really excited for today's episode because I feel like it's been a long time since I've done a solo episode, and I love guest episodes. The ones that we have had recently have been so dang good. So if you haven't listened to the guest episodes recently, highly recommend going back and listening to them. There are so many little golden nuggets that I've even pulled from those episodes that I'm implementing into my life, into my business. So highly recommend going back and listening. But I love solo episodes because I feel like I have these little things where someone will ask me a question on social media, or I'm even just thinking about something, or maybe I'm navigating something in my own business where I'm like, oh, I want them to know about this. I want them to hear about it. I want them to be able to benefit from this like little idea that I have, or this concept, or whatever it might be. And so I'm really excited for today's episode. But before I dive in though, I have to remind you that tickets are for sale for the Profit Maven Summit that is taking place on October 2nd and 3rd of this year, so 2024. And tickets are linked down in the show notes, so go purchase them right this second. Stop this episode, go purchase your ticket. Now, if you're listening and you're like, what are you talking about? What is this Profit Maven Summit? It is an in-person event for online business owners who are looking to scale to six and multi-six figures in their business. There are trainings on scaling, sales psychology, building passive income, personal branding, and so much more with amazing speakers that are flying in from across the country. I will also be speaking. Please come. I want to give you a hug in person. Now, all that being said, there are only 100 tickets available, and spots are already being filled up. Tickets are already being sold as we speak. So grab yours right now. Again, pause this, go grab your ticket, and I want to see you there. It's going to be absolutely revolutionary for your business, and I can promise you that. I can promise you that you will walk away from this summit a different person and a different business owner, and it's going to elevate everything that you do in more ways than one. And I know that that is such a big promise. And if you know me, I don't make promises very often. And so for me to make this promise, that's how deeply I believe in this summit. Now, I want to give I wasn't planning on doing this, but I want to talk about why this whole summit came about, and just a little bit of a backstory. So in 2023, I wanted to throw an in-person event, and with pregnancy and birth and just preparing for all that, it just didn't end up happening. But I even actually went as far as interviewing a few different event planners and trying to figure out like what that would look like, because I knew I couldn't do it myself. And it wasn't actually until after I gave birth to Remy where my husband was talking to his best friend, and they're just our really good friends. And he was just teasing, wouldn't that be so funny or so fun and funny if our wives worked together and they threw this event? And I was like, oh my goodness, why did I not ever think about that? They're our best friends. Like, why did I not think about having her help me to plan this event? And who is her? Bree. So I actually brought on a business partner for this. Her name is Bree, and she is an event planning expert. So over the last 7 years, she's planned over 300 events, hosting industry leaders like Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, Gary Vee, Liz Wiseman, and so much more. And she's been the executive producer of shows with over 30,000 attendees. But she also curates impactful 50-person events and everything in between. So she is amazing, and I'm so excited to be able to be partnering with her. But when our husbands were talking, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, let's do it, because I wanted to do this. Now, why do I want to throw an in-person event? It's not just to throw an in-person event. So one of my goals in 2024 is to make more in-person connections. And why is that? Because I've been able to see the power of those connections that I've been able to make in person through different aspects of my life, and the positive benefits that it's had on my business. And in 2024, I'm not just making it a goal to obviously host my own summit and have that hopefully have 100 people there. I hope that every single seat is filled, but I also want to attend more events for myself as well. So being able to meet new people and network. And so I'm already up to 2 in-person events that I've already attended this year, and I have 3 more just before the halfway mark of this year. And I actually am already looking at another one that I'm going to attend. And so this isn't just me, again, just saying, hey, come and attend. I am I see the power in person events, not just the trainings that you're learning, but the people that you're able to meet, and just the power of being there in the room, being plugged in, and really committing to yourself is so extremely powerful. And again, I promise you're going to walk away from Profit Maven Summit a new person, and not just new in the sense of you're going to have learned a lot of different things, but new in the sense of you're going to be able to build a very successful business with a supportive community at your side. And so many people in the entrepreneurship space need that. I get so many DMs where it's like, entrepreneurship is so lonely. I get it. And it felt lonely for me too, until I started to go to these in-person events and meet these people. And now I have people's phone numbers where anytime I'm having a bad day or anything is happening, or I need support in this, or I want to learn about something, I'm messaging these people. I'm like literally text messaging these people, and I'm like, hey, help me. So I believe down to my core that your network is your net worth. And I hope to see you there. I'm not going to talk more about this. I didn't mean for this episode to become a pitch fest for Profit Maven Summit, but that is just genuinely how deeply I value in-person events, and how excited I am for you to be able to attend this event. And it's truly going to be revolutionary for your business. We are doing things different than any other event I've ever attended. I've taken all these different little pieces of events that I've attended in the past and said, hey, I love these little aspects, or hey, I didn't love this, let's shift this. And it's going to be truly so amazing. So I hope to see you there. Tickets are down in the show notes. All right. All that being said, let's dive into the episode. Today's episode is all about breaking things down into bite-sized pieces. And if you're watching the video on YouTube, I don't know why this thumbs up keeps coming up, but there's a little bubble that just keeps popping up. So if you're on YouTube, I'm like, I don't really know where that keeps coming from, because I don't even think I'm giving a thumbs up, but maybe I am unintentionally while I'm speaking. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, I was in church a few Sundays ago. I'm going to give you a little backstory for the reason why I'm talking about this. So I was in church a few Sundays ago, and the kid in front of me was coloring. And the shape that he was coloring was an O. And it was like those bubble letters where you have the O, and then there's another little O in the middle, and you don't color the middle one. You just color like the outside. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, hopefully. So it's not a zero, but like an O that's like a bubble letter. And the way that he was coloring it in was so fascinating to me. So it was a really big O, especially for a little kid. It was one that took up a whole sheet of printer paper. And what he would do is he would draw like a little curved line, like another like little bubble inside of this O, and it would just be like this little small portion. And he would color that in. And then once he was done coloring that in, he would then draw out like another little bubble, and he would color that in. And he did this until the entire whole shape of this O was colored in. So he took this O, which probably seemed overwhelming to him, and he probably looked at that and he's, holy, this is a lot that I have to color in. And he just took it and he broke it down into these little bite-sized pieces. And I'm like sitting there, and of course my entrepreneur brain is, oh my goodness, I need to bring this message to my podcast episode. So this is what I'm bringing to you, is that I believe that so many people get so overwhelmed at the big O that is business and all the things that they need to do to be successful. And so many people are looking at this O on this sheet of paper being like, you know, their end goal of business, whatever that is in terms of income, or maybe lifestyle, or maybe a combination of all these different things. But whatever that goal is, that's your O, right? And you're looking at this and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to achieve this. How can I fill this all in at once, right? And then you're like, actually, I can't do this all at once. And then you're starting to feel overwhelmed, and you're starting to think, okay, if I can't do this all at once, then maybe it's not worth doing it at all. And this might sound extreme, but I see this a lot of times where we look at all these different things that we need to do to be able to hit that goal. Maybe we need to create an offer and show up on social media and respond to emails and respond to our clients. And maybe we need to hire someone, and maybe we need this and this. All these different things add up very quickly, because as entrepreneurs, we are wearing a lot of different hats. We have to do a lot of different things. And we're looking at this O, and we're like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I feel so overwhelmed. And what happens when you feel overwhelmed means that you're not taking action and you're not implementing, right? Because you're taking that step back and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And so when you're not taking action and you're not implementing anything in your business, what's happening then? Well, you're not seeing results. And when you're not seeing results, then you're getting really frustrated, right? And that big O starts to look a lot bigger when you're not taking that action and breaking things down into bite-sized pieces. And so what I bring up here is that you don't have to take on the whole O at once. You don't have to take on every single task and every single thing that you need to do to hit that goal all at once. Everything that you do, whether it is big or little, everything that you do moves you one step closer to your goal. So it's not I need to do it all. I need to do every single thing right now, and then I'm going to start seeing results. Then I'm going to be able to hit my goal. No, it's I'm going to break down this O into these little bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to focus on this. And once I'm done focusing on this, I'm going to focus on this. And recognizing that each thing that you focus on builds and it fills in your O, and you're going to be able to see results from each of these little things that you are focusing on. So it's not you have to do all the tasks and then you start seeing results. It's you're going to start seeing results as you do the tasks, right? As you do whatever it is that you need to do in your business, whether that's create an offer or hire someone or increase your prices or post on social media. It's all these little things are moving you closer to filling in your O, which is hitting that goal that you have, whatever that end goal is for you. And I love this little quote that I heard. I was on a podcast episode. I can't remember what I was listening to, but I was listening, and she said something along the lines of the work always works. And so each little thing that you are doing, and then she went on to say it either works for you or it works on you. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so good. And so every little thing that you're doing is either working for you, meaning that it's helping you to work towards your goal, or it's working on you, which is also helping you to work towards your goal, right? Because we have to actually become a different person when we're going to have to become a different person along the way to our goal. And I think of it, and this is obviously just an income goal. There's a lot of different goals that you could set in your business, but I think of it like $1 million Maya. $1 million Maya. Who is she? Who do I have to become to be that person? What things do I need to do now? And so when I think about the work working on me, I'm thinking about it's helping me to become that $1 million Maya, right? Who am I going to be when I make $1 million? I can promise you that it's going to be a different person than I am now. And it's not about the money. It's about the things that I've learned and who I've become, and because of the journey, right? And so I love that it's either working on you or it's working for you. And again, I don't claim that myself. That was someone in the podcast world who is way more wiser than me. So that is not quote from Maya, but I just wanted to share that with you. But again, we're looking at this O as this huge thing of like our goal, let's just say in my case, hitting $1 million. And if I think about all the things that I need to do to hit $1 million, yeah, 100% I'm overwhelmed. But if I just focus on one thing that I need to do, and then once I'm done with that one thing, focus on the next thing, and then the next thing, is much easier, right? I'm breaking it down into these bite-sized pieces. And this doesn't just apply to our huge goals. This also applies to how we approach our day-to-day lives. And so I got a direct message on Instagram the other day, and it was in response to a story that I had posted. And the story that I had posted, it said something along the lines of, I am done with my workout, so my exercise for the day, and I'm done with my work for the day, all by noon. And so by noon, I had accomplished basically everything that I needed to accomplish inside my business. And this person responded to me, and they're like, how do you know when you're done with work? And I love this because, again, my brain was immediately going back to this O, where it's like a lot of times we go into our day to day thinking like, here's our 500,000 million things that we need to do on our to-do list, because as entrepreneurs, you have 500,000 million things to do. Let's just be honest. There's a whole bunch of different things that you need to do to hit whatever your O is, whatever that goal is that you have. And so we go into each day looking at this huge list, and we're like, okay, I'm going to knock off as much as I possibly can off of this huge list. And so you pull up this huge list, and I think of it like, I don't know why I'm thinking of this right now, but I think of it like Santa's like naughty or nice list, where he like pulls it out, and then there's, a bajillion different names, and it's like this huge scroll, and it's like rolling out. Like, that's how I think of to-do list as an entrepreneur, where it's like 5,000 miles long, and you like pull out your scroll, and you're like, okay, what do I need to get done today? And then, you go through your day, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm chugging along, I'm doing so good. and you're checking things off your to-do list, and then you get to the end of the day and you look at this list and you've accomplished like 2 of these 500,000 things. And so what you're doing is you're then looking at that and you're saying, instead of looking at it and saying, wow, look at what I did and that's helping me move one step closer to my goal, you're looking at all the things that you didn't do. And so again, I'm not saying that this is a you thing, this is also a me thing. And I've had to reframe how I approach my day to day in my business, because I was walking away from those days when I would look at my to-do list in that way, feeling so defeated. And I was also feeling so overwhelmed, knowing that the next day I'd have to do it all again and that I would only get so far and I'd have so much more to do. And overwhelm almost always leads to not taking action. And not taking action means that you're not getting results, right? And so I had to reframe the way that I approached my day to day. And so, of course, I still have a 5,000 million long to-do list, but I don't approach it in that way in my business. So what I do at the end of each day, at the end of each workday, I will choose my next 3 tasks for the day. So I only take on 3 tasks. I'll look at that list of things that I need to do, and I'll say, okay, these are the 3 things that I am doing tomorrow, and I will plug that into my calendar for tomorrow. And then once that day comes and I've accomplished those 3 things, then I am done for the day. It's not, okay, I'm done for the day and I still have time left in the day and then I'm going to do this and this and this. No, for me, it's once I'm done with those 3 things, that's when I'm clocking off. And now you might be thinking, okay, what if those 3 things are like really big things? I know my own capacity and I know generally at this point in my business how long different tasks are going to take. So I'm not going to say in my to-do list for the day, create 3 offers. Like, that's not going to happen in a day. That's probably not even going to happen in a week for me. And so I just know like maybe something might be, usually that task takes me a long time because I only respond to emails generally like 1 or 2 times per week, and I usually have a lot of emails. So that might be one of my tasks. I might have a task of batching Instagram content, and then I might have a task of, I don't know, let's just say, I don't know, responding maybe to like my one-on-one client messages, something along those lines. So those 3 tasks, I know the time frame that it's going to take me to get those 3 things done generally. And so that's how I position like what tasks I'm doing. So that way I'm not having 3 tasks that, again, I'm not going to be able to accomplish in a day. And so if I were to create an offer, I would just break that offer down into smaller subtasks. So I might have for a day, like, name the offer and create a tagline, and then maybe outline the offer. And that might be like my 3 main things for the day. If it's like a masterclass, if I'm trying to outline a course or a program, usually outlining takes me a lot longer than a day. So again, I'm just basing this on like my own experience with my tasks. So that's something you're going to have to figure out for you, is like, how long do certain tasks take? But I love this approach because once I'm done with those 3 things, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've accomplished so much. And then once I'm done with that day, I'm choosing my next 3 tasks for the next day, right? And so instead of me looking at this huge scroll of my 50,000 things that I didn't accomplish, I'm just looking at the 3 things that I need to accomplish and knowing that those 3 things are bite-sized pieces that are helping me to work towards my end goal, whatever that might be, right? So if I'm looking at these 3 things, I'm filling in my little bubble, and then once I'm done with that, then my next day I'm taking on another 3 things, and then suddenly I've worked towards my goal, and I'm not overwhelmed because I'm breaking things down into bite-sized pieces. Hopefully that makes sense, and I don't know if it's an analogy or whatever, but hopefully that visual, I think that's probably the better word, is that visual of looking at that O and like coloring it in like small little pieces until you've colored in the whole O. That's how you need to approach your business, because again, everyone has 5 million things to do, but not getting overwhelmed. That's what's going to help you to continue to show up and to be able to work towards that goal, right? Because when you show up and you take action, that's ultimately what's going to get you to that goal at the end of the day.